All right, welcome to another week of our internship. I'm going to go ahead and just be going down these list of questions. So the first question is, what types of collaborations are typical for your agency? So I work and intern at a foster care and adoption agency. So I do a lot of collaboration with a lot of different platforms. So I work with foster parents, birth parents, the child's teachers, the child's guidance counselor, the school nurse, the judge, the CASA, the GAL. I also work with closely the child's therapist usually, as well as, if they have a TSF worker, which is a therapeutic support for families, a DFS worker, other members of the team. If I'm working on the adoption side of things, and it would be the foster care worker. If I'm working on the foster care side of things, maybe the permanency worker. I also have worked with AI DuPont a lot. A lot of the kiddos have some medical needs, so we are collaborating with them to ensure that wraparound services can happen, and that everyone's on the same page as far as how to help the child. So those are a lot of collaborations and a lot of networking I have working in child welfare. So the second question is, have you heard positive or negative feedback from clients on communication between providers? Of course, I've heard whenever there's multiple hands in the pot, there's going to be people who have issues with the communication and team players who aren't necessarily doing their job to the best of their ability. And so, of course, I've heard negative things about the team not communicating well back and forth, or one person makes a decision and doesn't tell everyone else, and that kind of impacts everyone else's understanding of how things are happening. With that being said, there's also a lot of positive feedback I've heard, usually like at team meetings when we all get the chance to speak to each other in real time and not just over like an email and things like that. So that's usually really helpful. So the next question is, what are some strategies to increase positive communication and collaborative care efforts for your client you are serving at your agency? Some of the things that I've really started doing right off the bat as soon as I get a referral is finding out. Because what I used to do is I get a referral, I reach out to the family, schedule a visit, kind of talk to the family, and begin the services. I don't do that anymore because it's not the best way to begin services. So I usually will get a referral, contact the DFS worker and figure out who all the team players are, have a conversation with the DFS worker as the professional to kind of see where this family's at, where the kid's at, what's going on, where we're moving, and get more specific information about how they would like me to help, and kind of a timeline for whichever service I'm providing, like what they would look for that. That doesn't always happen right away, and that does take some time to do that, but I found that taking an intentional effort to figure out who all the players are right off the bat gives me a lot more information when I'm making that initial contact with the family, as well as providing the direct services for the child. So that has been very helpful. And I also have learned that when I really work hard to introduce myself to all the team members and be communicative with them too, then they know to be communicative with me back, and we're able to really come together as a team and work together, as opposed to just kind of everyone doing their own little thing. And it does take a lot of time and effort to really build those relationships with other team members, but once you start doing that, it's a lot easier moving forward on other cases, because you'll work with the same DFS worker, the same child's attorney, and things like that. So it's a lot of work up front, but it makes your work, I have found that it's made my work so much easier in the long run, and we're able to support each other and provide the best services as possible for the clients. So let me take a look at the last question here. For those in macro practice, apply these to, okay. So really that about sums everything up. I just try to be overly communicative, provide updates, ask if anyone else has any questions, let them know that they can contact me at any time, and try to include, when I send out emails with concerns or questions, try to include all the team members on the email. That way everyone's getting updated and accurate information. And it is hard work. But again, I have found that in cases where I've really worked hard to do that, in the long run, my job is so much easier, and the child and the families really do benefit from it. So it has been very, very helpful. I can't speak to what that would look like in other social work practice, but I'm very excited to see what everyone else says about this. Thanks.